My name is Reagan Perkins, and this is my oral presentation on Chapter 6, Gaining Self-Awareness. Introduction. Chapter 6 concentrates on being mindful, being able to recognize when one is getting off track, being able to identify one's scripts and rewriting scripts that no longer identify with one's current beliefs, writing your own rules for life, and working on study skills and how to test take. I will take you through the tips of being successful and bettering yourself and how to identify when that needs to take place for the sake of your education. Body. Recognizing when you are off course. Many students self-sabotage due to a lack of self-esteem and need to be in control of a certain situation. There are also other factors, such as an unconscious force, where the amygdala hijacks one's rational thinking. The notes define the amygdala as a small structure located in the brain, responsible for processing memories and fear conditioning. The amygdala can affect one's rational thinking due to past negative experiences and make one react in a drastic way due to fear of repeated consequences. A way to combat this is to understand yourself better and what can trigger this sort of reaction. Once you are able to do this, you can process, take a beat before reacting. Be able to separate the past from the present circumstances and try and take things slow to calm yourself. Identifying your scripts. Scripts come from our thoughts, emotions, and behavioral patterns. Scripts are also defined on how others respond to us. Scripts are defined as one's core beliefs. Some examples of core beliefs are beliefs we hold as truth, inner messages we play over and over to ourselves, and come from our past and how others respond to us. The notes have some good examples for this, as following. If you were treated kindly and consistently, chances are you develop thinking such as, the world is basically kind. People will help me. I am lovable and have value. If you were basically abandoned or ignored, chances are you developed thinking such as, the world does not care about me. People won't help me. I am not important. If you were abused, chances are you developed thinking such as, the world is a dangerous and painful place. People will hurt me. I am unlovable. Attributions are qualities we are told are good to have. Injunctions are qualities we are taught against adopting. An attribution example is to be tough, happy, and smart. An injunction example is to not believe in yourself, don't be weak, and don't be yourself. On page 5 of the notes, they state that a person is made up of their very own unique collection of thoughts, fears, and behavior patterns. Sometimes these patterns serve us well. Sometimes they do not. Sometimes they are downright harmful to us. The main point, as adults, it is up to us to change or stay the same. Old thinking is hard to change, but it can be done with work. Now we understand what scripts are and where they come from, including different factors of our scripts, such as things like abuse and feeling supported in a relationship. Rewriting outdated scripts. We've discussed the factors of scripts and where they come from. Now we're going to go over what to do when some core beliefs may need some updating. When we as people grow and evolve, it is important to update one's core beliefs as we change. Some negatives not adopting your scripts, according to the notes on page 6. Confusion, anger, resentment, and anxiety within the self and in relationships. Overreactions to benign, non-harmful events or comments. Misinterpretation of intentions. Seeing patterns in others when the pattern lies internally. To avoid these negatives, you first need to be aware of them and how they are holding you back. You need to rewrite the scripts, changing how you feel, think, and behave. Having rules for one's life is important. It helps you feel in control. Now that we have talked about how important rules are and how to update old ideology when needed, let's discuss how to make your own rules to live by. Write your own rules. Making your own rules and living by them will help your self-esteem and make you feel empowered and capable of doing great things. The book states 3 rules to success on page 184. Number 1, show up. Committing to show up for class is an important and useful skill to utilize. 90% of success is simply showing up. Studies show that there's an association of showing up to class to good grades. Number 2, I do my best work. Doing your best is all you really can do for yourself and your future. Number 3, I participate actively. Some tips for participating actively are: take notes, come to class prepared and get involved, read ahead, start a study group, ask and answer questions. Blair Underwood also has some good rules to help a student be successful. Her rules are as follows. Decide what you want. Decide what you want to give up in order to get what you want. Associate with successful people. Plan your work and work your plan. As we have seen, there are many different rules you can make and follow. A good idea is to add a bunch of ideas together and make your own rules from these people's rules and what they have learned while trying to be successful. Using these skills in your school career will help you not only with assignments, but with taking tests. Study skill, taking tests. The first thing to identify when taking a test is what type of test is it? Objective, multiple choice, or subjective? An objective test is an accumulation of many different formats, such as multiple choice, true or false, matching, and fill in the blank, whereas a multiple choice exam has only the multiple choice elements. We will read the choices and slowly eliminate the options until you are left with the best answer. A subjective test requires the test taker to answer a question with some sort of essay question. This type of test is more of a recognizing information and putting information in more of a free-form way. A study tip is to probe, which stands for predict, rehearse, organize, practice, and evaluate. This study approaches where you create and answer essay questions and make a mini test for yourself to be able to prepare for the actual test. The notes go over each of the letters and what to do for each of them to achieve the study strategy. See below from page 11. Number 1, predict. After reading the chapter, predict possible essay questions from the information contained in the text. In the formation of these questions, you should avoid questions that begin with what or when, and do not include analysis. Some key questions are explained, discussed, criticized, compare, and contrast. Number 2, rehearse. Recite aloud the information and quiz your memory. This step helps you to place the key ideas, examples, and overall organization in your long-term memory. You should allow a couple days for this process. Number 3, organize. Organize, summarize, and synthesize the key points of the chapter using your own words. Then outline the answers to the predicted questions. Number 4, practice. In practicing, you answer your predicted essay questions from your memory. You can sketch an outline of the essay or prepare a complete answer. Number 5, evaluate. Evaluate your own work by asking the following question. Do I have enough concrete examples? Is my answer complete, accurate, and appropriate? Is there anything I should study, going back to step 3, before the exam? When you are utilizing this learning strategy and preparing for what kind of test you are going to be taking, it is important to be nice to yourself and avoid thinking what the notes called stinkin' thinkin'. Instead, try to give yourself affirmations and believe in yourself. A way of doing this is something called visualization. See yourself in there taking the test and doing your very best. Take some deep breaths and take it easy. It is important while you are being kind to yourself to also be prepared, utilizing the skills we spoke about in this presentation, such as note-taking, organizing, and using good scripts. Some good tips to get a good night's rest Read the instructions carefully, make your materials are ready. This is going to be different depending on if it is an online class or an in-person class. Conclusion. Chapter 6 concentrates on being mindful, being able to recognize when one is getting off track, being able to identify one's scripts, and rewriting scripts that no longer identify with one's current beliefs, writing your own rules for life, and working on study skills and how to test to take. Together we have gone over all these points that is covered in Chapter 6 and what it takes to be successful not only in class but in your everyday life. If you employ these skills, you will be able to grow as a person and better yourself. Again, my name is Reagan Perkins and this is my oral presentation on Chapter 6, Gaining Self-Awareness. Thank you.